just sweet. So many shades of taste it has. A weird feeling, eh, my friend? I remember you telling me how you took your mask off atop a Stonkin Otar. When you honed those missiles in on the Dark Ones, was the air bitter then? Who knows though? Had you not launched those missiles, you'd probably never have climbed that building or received that signal. Life is weird, huh? One random event drags another with it, like links in a chain. And you are pulling that chain out of a deep, dark well. The links emerge from the dark water. And what link is in that bucket that's on the end of the chain? That's a mystery. That's what I often think about when facing a choice. You can't drop the chain either. You always have to drink from that bucket. Well, bottoms up, I suppose. So, how does it feel to be the Moses who yanked on this particular chain? Is it dumb to think about such things when all I ever did in life was carry out orders? Well, I'm not called idiot for nothing. Still, I would like to know what's on the end of your chain.
If there's no radiation, that means we can bring everyone out of Moscow.
It doesn't matter if there's radiation or not, Comrade American. The citizens of Moscow will have to stay put.
Why? We're just a short way from the city. And the radiation's gone.
Things might have been that easy in your America, but life has never been so easy here. Even now, we woke up saviors of the metro, and by lunchtime, we're enemy spies, saboteurs, train thieves, and what for? Something we thought was true turned out to be a lie. And that is enough for them to want us dead.
The Hansa bosses must have known that we could live up here. But the public didn't know that. Who'd want to stay down in the metro if we told them?
We cannot tell them. If they are ready to make mincemeat out of old ladies and kids to keep their secret, what do you think they'll do to you, Uncle Sam? Huh? We can't go back. We can't use radio. Remember the jammers? And even if you pull a perfect Rambo and break through back into the metro, do you expect they all just believe you and go, yes, Moses, lead us out of this Egypt? Can you even imagine that they're told? Take your average station robbers. Even if the Hansa guards didn't shoot them, how far would they get? Right to the nearest mutant den, most likely. We are safe here, speeding along in this Eastern Express. They are not as lucky. Not at all.
What if there was a proper evacuation?
And who would do that? Hansa's people? The ones that kept us under lock and key for 20 years? Or us too? Besides, getting the people out of Moscow is not the end of it. You have to settle them somewhere, provide food. No, I do get where you're coming from, but this matter is way more complex than it seems.
I guess you're right. All this clean air went to my head. So, wait, does this mean the Colonel was in the know?
His rank does seem to suggest that. Besides, he led negotiations with Hansa. Where would we be without them after the D6 debacle? They give us weapons, recruits to replenish our losses. We, on the other hand, our competence does not stretch beyond thinking cozy thoughts and keeping the fools in the metro from killing each other off. Remember, if not us, then who?
You are too smart for your own good, idiot. Hey, Demir, I've been thinking, how far are we gonna go?
The railroad runs through the whole country. As far as we want, I reckon. As for Yamantau, it's about 2,000 clicks away.
No, I mean, how far can we get with the fuel we have? What's this machine's mileage?
Aha, that. Yeah, it certainly is a coal guzzler, this thing. Then again, there should be coal stores at every station. And if we don't find any, we could still burn firewood.
By the long face, here.
You see, I made a mistake of stocking up on filters. While I could have gotten a whole bunch of MREs for the same ammo, or a new hazard suit. I wish I'd known there'd be no need for them. The corporal sold them way too hard, that bastard. Get them while they last. He even gave me a book as a free extra. Quotations from Charlie.
Andrei Ivanovich, how long have you been working with those? So, how did you like that fresh air? Out of this world, isn't it? I thought I'd ask Yermak about where we're headed next. I'm sorry, I interrupted.
It's all right. Don't worry. There's not much left to tell. About a year, I guess. At first, they got me to sign up by singing of my experience helping people. Told me about weather stations and muted migration observers. I was proud to be helping, boss. Then, about 2 months ago, they loaded a bunch of people onto my Aurora. The guards took them outside and came back alone. Told me they took the people to a nearby station, but I knew it had caved in years ago. A few days later, I was coming back from a run. Stopped the train, went and found those people. Soon they understood I saw that ravine. Fed me the usual lies about the spies and whatnot.
Did you believe them?
Well, it sure seems safer to believe. But then, I just couldn't keep the charade up. Then the security officer told me straight. Whoever you speak to dies. The whole station dies with him if need be. So, that's how it went. But when I saw you, and then Artyom, I knew I wasn't alone anymore. You can't just keep these things in.
Now I understand why you helped us back then. Thank you.
Don't mention it. God willing, it won't end up being done in vain.
Yes. Have you ever taken a train beyond city borders?
No, didn't get a chance to go. I used to be a metro train engineer. I worked on the ring line. Ha! What a bore that was. Going round and round all day, round and round. And no real distance either. It used to take less than 30 minutes to make the lap. So I kept dreaming about how good it would be to just leave the metro and work on a real railroad. Travel around Russia, not to run in circles like a rat in a maze. My wife wouldn't let me. We had kids, too. When I'd start going on about the railroad, about my dream, she'd stop sleeping with me for months in protest. Yes. But when Moscow got hit, my Tatiana and the little Sashenka were at home. I was working that day. Irishka was waiting for me in the metro, returning from cram school. So we survived together that day. But in the end, I lost her too. TP. You know how it goes. So, I'm driving here and talking to Tatiana in my head. See, I say, you couldn't stop me for good after all. Here I am, on a real railroad. A real engineer. Tanyusha. I'm sorry I got so emotional there.
Oh, it's my fault. I'm really sorry. And thank you for telling me.
Hey, Artyom! Is there any music on the air? As if there would be any.
Well, there just might. Will you scan me in for some?
Hello there, Artyom. It seems to me, whether it was intended or not, that our colonel now has a goal to strive for because of you. We all remember the way you fought back in D6, so no matter what lies ahead, we're with you. You can count on us. Yeah, yes. As for me, I'm running a little inventory check. Yeah, it is kind of cramped in here. I'm thinking of making something of a workbench. So that's all the instruments we get, and everything else will be within arm's reach. With no workbench, you just lose small components. We'll use this place to work on the weapons. Cleaning, oiling, keep out of everybody's way, and keep them from messing with my stuff. Well, we'll have to take turns, of course, but we'll manage. So, if you find any weapons you'd like to keep, I'll store them for you here on the Aurora, and you can come back to exchange them. You'll get them back in their best shape ever. Don't you doubt. Boy, have I cleaned and oiled a lot of weapons in my life. Factory, and homemade too. Some of those were just amazing. So unusual. So, if you have any weapon-related questions, I'm your man. And weapons, they are like girls. They need attention. You clean your weapon well, you oil it, you check the ammo, because these dirty ammo caps do get rusty sometimes. But if you put your heart into it, the weapon never fails. Well, I'll just finish oiling this one, then start on another.
After all those years in the